Alright, so it is September 9th, 2014. Pretty nuts, obviously, since there's a video on right now. Pretty obvious that was my intention. But anyway, but yeah, so I got a new glass pipe. My friend came for the Tool concert and brought me weed and a new pipe. Well, my old one was metal and it was just old and, you know, shitty, I guess. I actually liked it. I had it for like 10 years at least. Probably longer, I don't even know. I mean, I really have no idea. But I'd still use the metal lid to put it out. And then that way I can just, I don't know. I can get pretty ripped, especially if I roll the blunt. Perception of, I mean, it pretty much applies to any situation, whether you're talking about, you know, like, you know, God or the devil, good or bad, honest, dishonest. I don't know. It's like there's always like these two sides, and like you have to be one or the other, and there really is no one or the other. Every single thing that exists is going to be somewhere within some balance that, you know, it's like it's just all a bunch of nonsense, really. Like there's not just some magical truth that is sitting there just waiting for you. I mean, the universe is energy that flows in a certain way. I mean, you can either pay attention to how it's flowing and or not. I mean but then again, that's just another, I mean, I don't think anyone, that's just another, you know, this or this decision. But I don't think it really comes down to any one specific thing. I mean, you just have to, I don't know, just be awake in your life and make sure that you're not lying to yourself. I don't know. I mean, that just seems like the most obvious, simple things, you know? People who are afraid to start a journey because they just don't think they're ready to make the journey. And so they keep putting it off, and they wait until it's too late, where they're no longer able to make the journey. They're no longer even able to see the path. You know, it's like you have to embark on that at some point, I think. I mean, otherwise you're just lost, because it's not achievable. It's like absolute zero. You know, you can make something cold. You can get it really fucking cold, but you'll never reach absolute zero ever. There's always going to be something there. There's always going to be another level. So why even try and reach the end? You know, why not just admit that you're never actually going to get to the end? So you're just going to enjoy the journey and see where it takes you. And you'll get as close as you can to whatever truth might be out there. But it's not something you're trying to attain. It's just something that, I don't know, it's like the it's like a never-ending journey. It really is. I think that's the hardest thing to grasp, really, is just how infinite everything is, you know? Because really, you could keep magnifying down to the tiniest, smallest particles, but there's no such thing, because no matter how small you get, there's always something small. And that's really hard to comprehend, that concept. And the same thing with things that are large. There is no biggest thing in the universe, because it's infinite. No matter how big anything is, there's always something that's bigger. A bigger galaxy, a bigger star, whatever it is, it doesn't matter, a bigger black hole. Like, there's just trying to grasp something infinite is impossible, really. I mean, when you're talking about a person, like a human mind that, I mean, if you're lucky, you have 100 years to observe and to experience and to know the universe, let's say. You can't discover anything at all in that time frame. I mean, it's such a tiny glimpse of what any truth or reality is. And just in the course of a generation, from generation to generation, so much is lost in translation or, in interpretation of events. I mean, even just taking like an old book or just an old idea, every new generation is going to interpret that in their own way. And the older the idea, the more convoluted and, over-interpreted it is. It's just so weird that so many bad ideas just continue to be carried on and on. Like, let's say, for instance, you want the world to be a better place. And you want people to, take responsibility and have morals and live their life in an honest way. That can be done by the individual person deciding that they're going to live their life that way. It's ultimately their responsibility. And saying that someone has to believe in a certain lifestyle or culture in order to achieve that is stupid, because it's not true. I mean, it's almost like one of those things where if you're so caught up in tradition that you literally do not ever want to see the world change, then there's really no place for you in the world. I mean, you would have belonged in that time, I guess. I don't even know how to explain that. Because none of that, it's almost like someone is focusing so much on the circumstantial portion of it, where, like, well, this is the tradition, it has to be done this way. I mean, it's so arbitrary and ridiculous. It can be done an infinite number of ways, and you can still achieve the same results. It really comes down to those things: taking responsibility and for your actions. That's it. I mean, that's really all that it is. And looking at how your actions are affecting other people and looking at them that honestly. Which is why I would never close my mind to saying, let's say that there is a God. I mean, the evidence is overwhelming against it, but I would never say that there's not. I respect other people's right to believe anything that they want to believe. But when you start taking circumstantial things and you miss the actual point of it all. Because the point of it all is to make you a better person. If it's not doing that, then there's no purpose to it at all. If you're not growing and improving yourself, then what are you doing? What else is there? I don't know what else there would be. And growing is not holding other people back because it makes you feel satisfied by preventing someone else from growing. I mean, sure, people are individuals, but we don't exist in a bubble. Everything that you do is going to have an impact on someone else. Of course it will. We live in a society. Because we all exist within the same exact society. I mean, you can talk about, well, I live in this country and I live in that country, and you live in this city and I live in that city, but we still walk down streets and drive on roads, and everyone is doing the same thing, and everyone it just has a different way of doing it, but we're all still doing the same things. And let's say it's $25 a day, and they say, well, last year it was $15. Like, oh, well, they do change all the time. So there are no set prices. You're going to see different rates. It all depends on where you're running and when you're running. It's pretty reasonable. The only reason I can think of why people, after I say that, go apeshit and start yelling and cussing, the only reason I can think of is either they think I'm lying to them. Could be. If so, then who cares? I mean, there's no way, there's nothing I can do. If you think I'm lying about something, then, I mean, how am I supposed to convince you that I'm telling you the truth? Other than it makes sense and, it is the truth. But then again, I mean, that really brings you back to the question, what is the truth anyway? You know what I mean? I mean, the truth is, regardless of how the rates are set, I am an employee who is quoting you a price based on the information that you gave me. And I've even explained it. I don't have any control. All I do is put in your rental details, and I'm going to tell you how much it'll cost for you to do that. And we can look at other options. I'll help you. If there's a way to get you a lower price, I'll do that. But once I've quoted it, that's it. There is no other story. That's the end of the story. And if you don't like the ending, then you just say, okay, I don't like the ending. I'm going to go to the dozens of other companies. You can do that. You're shopping. This isn't, unless I'm the very last company that you called and you've already talked to everyone else. But if so, then look at all that information and pick the one that's best for you. Make a fucking decision in your life.
Rush through my bloodstream, body can't stand still, buried to the top, can't process the next thing, think about the crossfire, what will the truth bring, opening a mind spring, brainstorm, trust me, don't take the fast path, life is a soft breeze.
Various gibberish, good times, good rhymes, feel great, celebrate, amp up, motivate, let the rhythm take hold, step out, be bold, shake it now, break it down, live the beat, hear the sound, bring the funk, move right, stick it green, out of sight, drink up, tip cup, throw back a cold one.
Round 2, fight! Olay, olay! You win, lose, perfect.